Hello, welcome, whale family. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another episode of Artist Fireside Chat. This is a special episode with Saxxon. He's a veteran DJ and producer. Last time he was with
Club Wars. Yeah, evening.
Yes. And last time he was here, we talked about his latest NFT drop, his first NFT drop, which was the world's first drum and bass NFT album, right? Yes. And yes. I own it. And so we were talking mostly about that, but I thought it would be cool to have Saxxon come back and talk more about his experience as an independent artist and producer, and what it's been like navigating that during a global pandemic, and even in regular times, like the challenges and triumphs of being an independent artist. So, hi, thank you for coming.
Hi, Heather.
Sharing your wisdom.
I don't know vibing. Wisdom. I'm going to share whatever you. I'm an open book. Ask me some stuff. I'm here for that. But yeah, thanks for having me back again. It was fun last time, so I'm glad we could get around the campfire again. Yes. Hello, Whale crew. Big up selectors. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Yeah, man. So what would you like to know? What would you like to talk about? What is it? Where should we begin?
I was thinking about the last conversation we had when you were here, and you said something like, I don't put all my eggs in one basket as an artist, like in terms of like, you didn't rely solely on gigging as a DJ. So what are some of the other things that you do outside of production and DJing to sustain yourself? I guess we could start there.
Well, yeah, I guess with this, it was important. There's a few things I do, but the most important thing I say to anybody when you're looking at doing other things to bring the pots in, if you can do things that you genuinely enjoy, it won't feel like working, and it won't feel like it's taken away from the fun of being a full-time musician. So try and find things that you find stimulating and enjoyable. One of the regular things that I do, I've only just added to my website now. It's always just been requested, but I've been doing it for quite a few years now in different ways. But I do tutoring, online tutoring, for various levels of things, whether it could be feedback for mixing, could be feedback on tunes, helping people craft their EP, finishing techniques, mindset, workflow things and stuff like that. So I've got a few students a month. I try not to have too many, but I'd love to have more, because it's good fun. And every time that I pass something on, it sort of reaffirms it in myself to make sure that I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah. I don't know if I have done that this month. Let's crack on.
That's absolutely true. I have a coach that I've been working with for a long time, and she says that she actually does this work so that she does, it keeps her in check. It keeps her, doing all those practices with like mindset and keeping organized. Mindset's the biggest thing, I feel like.
Mindset definitely is the biggest thing. Definitely. Yeah. And I think the mindset thing is probably the first thing about the independent journey, as it were. I'm not particularly good at having a boss, so I learned quite young that I had to work something out to be a remote worker, and able to sort of sustain myself that way. And also, I live somewhere that was part of my goal, to be able to work out how I could live here and continue doing what I love. So it was a mixture of the two things. So there's music, there's independent releases, there is tutoring, there is NFTs now, there is obviously merchandising, Spaceballs special. And then
gotta drop the merch link later. I don't think I have that. Or is it on your website? Saxxon.space.
I actually don't have any merch up there at the minute, but it'll be there soon.
I have to change that.
It'll be there soon, I promise. And yeah, I mean, if you create things that your audience wants out of things that you're doing anyway, that's pretty cool. So just like, it's another thing, like my audience isn't going to be the same as people listening or watching. So have a think of what your core audience really wants from you, and think about how you might be able to deliver that for them. That could be all kinds of things. That could be experiences of being able to hang out or learn from each other directly, or so many ways that people can enjoy connecting to the artist they're into, whether a musical artist or a visual artist. I think that's a big thing that anybody can do, NFTs or without an NFT, is line up some cool experiences so your fans can get that little bit extra. They're getting, as I said, if it's something they want genuinely, it's not, are you conjuring things like that, there's nothing to worry about. Do you know what I mean? If somebody wants it and you enjoy delivering it, it's like a perfect transaction. So
yes, and you enjoy delivering it, and you enjoy delivering it is like the big one too, because yes, like catering to your audience is important. But yeah, so that response like stemmed a bunch of questions like that I have in my mind, so I hope I can remember them all, because there's like a lot of exercises out there where people can like identify who their core audience is. So like, how did you figure that out for yourself?
I think really the thing is about the core audience. They'll show themselves up in some really cool, natural, organic ways that you don't have to sort of drag them out for. So one of the things you can do is literally look on your social posts and see who comments and shares the most without prompting. They're your amazing hardcore street team that you haven't employed.
Street teams.
They're basically your like loose street team that are doing it off their own accord with no direction. So if they're doing that without prompting, they're awesome. So you definitely want to make sure they're nice. Whether you want to sell them anything or not is another question. But it definitely wouldn't hurt to make sure those people are sort of remembered and niced up. Do you know what I mean? And they may be the first people to get the free tune, and they're the first people to get the look at certain things. I'm not talking financial stuff at the minute. I'm just talking these kind of moves naturally turn into something in the future that is financial. I can't explain why. Just be nice to people, and when you do go, hey, I got this thing, they're probably quite likely to be like, yeah, I'll have some of that. So that's the big thing about it as well, I guess, as well, when it comes to the independent hustlers. Don't just be. Sometimes I feel really bad. I've got really busy with stuff, and I've got a couple of projects, and I haven't done the right rhythm, something else in between that's just for fun or just to be taken or is remixed or played with or whatever. I actually feel kind of bad when I do that, but you can't always meet the deadline for everything. Have a nice balance of nicing people up as well. I love dropping freebies, but not too often. Don't devalue your product, but make sure people know that they are appreciated in some way. It's good for longevity.
I think
that's kept me busy.
Yeah, and definitely, I like that bit of advice is you can build connections, like a real connection and relationship with the people who are just for no other reason because they like you, are sharing your work or buying it, however they're supporting you. Like, that's a great way to find out like who to cater to. And the other thing is, like, you said you weren't getting into the financial stuff, but it's like something about just building those relationships. It just leads to things. Like, even in my own experience as an independent contractor, like most of my work after a while, like, is just from word of mouth. It's just someone would call me from a job that I had 2 years ago who remembered me, and they're like, hey, I'm at this new place. Like, they need a graphic designer. What's up? So I was very lucky in that way, and I think it was just because I was nice to people that I worked with. I don't know.
No, honestly,
it goes a long way. I mean, you're just sincerely a nice person. Don't be a dick.
It goes a long way. And if I've ADHD, so I do forget things. I'm like, oh my god, but I do try, and if I notice, I fix them and sweeten them back up because I know I'm going to do that, and I've got nobody helping me, so every now and again I fluff up, but most people are pretty understanding. We're all humans. But yeah, man, in general, don't be a dick. And then
sage advice.
Yeah, basically. And then when you, as I said, like you're creating something extra, as long as it, think about what you'd want as well. What would you want from somebody? That's a really good place to come from. Don't be like, what do they want? What would I want? If I was like, I love this person's music, what would make me feel closer to them? Do you know what I mean? What would make me feel just that bit more like I had a chance to express that I'm perhaps that little bit more of a fan than the next person, or just, you know what I mean? Whether I'm expressing it to my friends or back to the artists themselves.
Yeah.
You're gonna think of things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you just nice yourself up.
Yeah. It just made me think of, I don't know if you ever heard of the 5 love languages, but it's just like how you can give back to people, and like it's just getting on like a more psychological level of how people like to give and receive love, and getting like, maybe you could do some kind of, no, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you could do some kind of like anecdotal research of like who's following you and who's been sharing your work, and like how do they like to give and receive, you know, love and accolades and stuff like that. Then you can show. You know, you can show love through acts of service, which would be like sharing your links, or buying gifts would be like buying your products, or words of love is another form of giving and receiving. So yeah, I don't know. 5 love.
All those good things. Those are all good things, because that's like, they're all useful social media things. Like words of love are like comments, and gifts of love are like, and the sharing the love is quite clearly how that could be.
Bits on Twitch.
Exactly.
Dropping ETH in someone's wallet just for kicks. Or whale.
Whale. We're in the whale central.
Whale.
Yeah, but just, it doesn't have to be too formulated. Just, you know, when you feel like doing something nice, just do something nice.
Yeah.
And get it to the people that deserve it. And then as far as like identifying people, it's pretty obvious how you identify people who are like the biggest spenders in these day and age. Everybody's got analytics.
Right.
On your own websites or on your band camps, or if you're lucky enough for a label to actually send you your paperwork, you'll be able to find out some of it. But there's definitely, that's where it's really key to have your own list and have your own output on your own website, because that way you can start identifying people that support the most, and then in return you can just make sure that you're
thanking them,
making them feel the gratitude they deserve for being that person, or in that top echelon of people. But yeah,
echelon. It's really good advice. So hold on, this was the question that my brain is just farting right now, and I don't want to forget to ask.
It's fine. I've been
yeah, I don't know, lately my brain is kind of, I don't know if it's like the really stormy weather or what, but I know people get like headaches when it's humid and stuff out, so maybe my brain is foggy.
This isn't fun enough. Let's tell some jokes.
This is so funny. You had mentioned, you said, ADHD, which I'm not diagnosed, but I definitely feel like I have a lot of things I'm trying to focus on, and it becomes really difficult. So like, what are you using to stay on top of all these different things that you're doing? Like, how do you keep track of all your projects? How do you, like, what tools are you using for that?
Well, obviously, don't unmute. It's so weird that all the background noise goes away and I go into a vacuum.
Really? That's so funny. It's like, so it feels like it might be so loud from the AC. It's like
No, I totally miss it. I need the white noise. That's the ADHD thing as well. I need the white noise consistent when it's there.
Yeah.
It's gone as the earth stopped.
Yes.
Oh my God. It's over. It finally happened.
Yeah.
I'm the last man on the planet. Okay, so what was the question again?
The question was, how do you
stay on it? How do
you keep track of everything that you're doing? And like,
questions?
you know, there's like, worlds within worlds of the things that you do. Like just production alone, I feel like is a lot of stuff to keep track of. So yeah.
I'm not particularly amazingly successful at doing this part. I'll be honest, I have ADHD, so
I feel like it's not natural for us.
It's not natural, but I use every possible tool available, and I will start at the top. I start my day putting my brain in order. I start my day with breathing. I start my day with my morning program. If you follow my stories on Insta, I'm always like, do your program. It's really important to do your program. And when I'm talking about doing a program, it doesn't necessarily just mean exercise. It means the thing you promised yourself you'd work on, the goal you promised you'd work towards. And that's what I'm talking about program. I'm saying, what is the one step today you can make towards the thing? Because I think we all could do, especially on social media, could all be doing shaking out of the headspace. I'm happy to be the guy that says, put your fucking phone down. It's time to like actually go and work on you, not watch what everybody else is doing. You can't achieve yourself when you're watching what everybody else is doing.
No.
So first thing is, don't take your phone out first thing in the morning. If I want to fill my brain with distraction, fill it with a whole 50,000 people's worth of mornings, and then go to, what am I doing in my morning? No,
it's such a good point.
Don't do that. Do not look out 50,000 windows at once in the morning. What's Deirdre and Dave and Bartholomew and everybody doing? It's 50, definitely not.
That's absolutely what that is.
We've not evolved to this point. We are still in the state where we have the brain capacity for 10 storylines, 10 people's storylines.
At the most.
20.
At the most.
Maybe a full detailed 20 maximum. But now our brain has got 5,000 friends there, all these followers that you follow back, all these storylines that you're stacking up, that no wonder people are getting distracted, losing the plot, depressed, all these things. We didn't have time to evolve to the point where we have this great way to that's why the news is amazing. We're distracting them. It's because you have every news story that's incomplete. Your brain stores the half of that story, waiting for the next page to be turned.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that now you're thinking of that concept. Imagine that like thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times.
Okay.
How are you supposed to achieve your goals?
You're so distracted.
Locked into millions of stories, literally millions of stories in some cases. If you think of everything you're keeping up to date with, sports, politics, current affairs, world affairs, your friends, all the music you're into, these are all storylines that you're subconsciously storing up. So my best advice, if you want to not be distracted, is don't make it easy to be distracted. Turn that fucking shit off straight away. Only get to it when it's time for that thing. Because the magic of your clear brain without external stimuli in that department in the morning is you actually get a chance to think about what you need to do today and what your plan is for your day. And that's something I missed for a very long time, because I wake up to like 15 messages. I just better do. And I've discovered only this year that let me just is an ADHD thing that I can do for days before I actually get to the thing, if I allow it to happen. Days before I actually get to the stuff on my list. I'm like, so-and-so said, and then, and then I'll just get back to that person and send them that tune, and let me just do that, and then I'll start.
Yeah.
No. Make an hour for that at 4 p.m. Nobody's waiting for a kidney at a hospital out of the people that are waiting for replies from me. It's not that urgent. Make sure you get your stuff done. Otherwise, the day is a roulette. And as soon as you put somebody else in the driving seat, your day is like off to a head spin. So stay riding the horse, not being, that's something, it's a Wim Hof thing. Are you riding the horse or are you the horse?
Oh, you said it's a Wim Hof thing? I've been hearing about this Wim Hof method. Did you mention this last time? Somebody else said just
because it's what I used to swim all winter, and it's my first phase of the morning routine. But something he said in one of his little speeches has stuck with me about whether you are the rider of the horse or the horse. You can be either, and you don't need anybody else for this to be two different things. Are you like the horse being ridden around all day by everybody else's demands? Or are you at the fucking reins? And the horse is going where you want it to go. And that's the really important thing, to start your day in the saddle, ready to ride that horse to your stuff that you want to do.
So if your phone is in your hand, you are not on the saddle, you're fucked. So
you're fingering somebody else's saddle at that point if your phone's in your hand. And nobody wants to be caught doing that. So you must leave your phone down, away from everybody else's saddles, and onto your own.
I need to use routine. Yeah, you know what? I use my phone as an alarm clock, which is a really bad idea. So
you can do that, but turn the Wi-Fi off.
No, but I just think that. Oh yeah, I guess if I turn the Wi-Fi off, it'll be fine. It's too tempting. It's just right there. The whole thing, every world is right there. If I want to go into it,
the world of everything. Why would you need to not pick your phone up?
Right at this point, it's like.
Endorphins of the world of everything.
Oh, you just like got all jumbled.
Choose your drugs, definitely.
Choose your endorphins.
It's your choice. Which ones you go for? The easy, fed endorphins, or the endorphins delivered by achieving the first thing on your list of the day, followed by the second thing, followed by the third thing.
Slow drip endorphins. Yeah, you're saying a lot of good analogies.
So sorry.
No, it's just really. I'm just like, I'm just like reassessing my life existentially right now. That's all.
So, honestly,
I mean it's all stuff that I know, but yeah, it's just practicing it. That
the one thing I just had to add in, which my buddy Leo and I have done, and now it seems to be because my sleep pattern was very, very random. I would like work for as long as I could and fall asleep for like 2 or 3 hours, and work for as long as I could, fall asleep 2 or 3 hours. And now I try and wake up at the same time every day. Every day. Even if I go to sleep a little bit too late, have siesta later.
That does help a lot.
Just wait.
There's got to be some kind of anchor.
And I am Mr. Freestyler. I needed something.
Yeah.
Something. Because the rest of the day, once you've got the important, this is a dadding, do the important tasks first. Don't procrastinate on
those. Go live your life.
Do the important tasks first, and then you can be Mr. Freestyle and slack off for a minute, or go and have a coffee with a mate because you've done the important tasks. You can literally, you don't have to spend the rest of the day in a heightened state because you're like, oh no, I'm still put that thing off. I'm not quite ready yet.
Yeah.
You can the rest of the day peace.
And that's a really good point too. That even if you're not super conscious that there's something that you want to do, there's this anxiety inside you that just knows that there's something that you're putting off, and you're being in that heightened state. You can't really create from a fight or flight spirit. It just doesn't always work. I mean, you might come up with an idea, but it's super hard to execute from that place. So
definitely. This is really good point. Learning, and it's from learning, knowing how many wasted days I had going, let me just do this first. Let me, I said earlier on, just do this first. And so the really, really important thing, and this is really new for me, honestly, this is as I've been slotting in the last year or so, is make sure those top priorities are at the top of the list. Even if you have to write a new list once you've written everything out you plan to do today. Or if you use an app, make sure they're dragged to the very top and don't even look at that easy shit till they're done. Yes. The easy shit is the bonus items. Important tasks first.
Yeah. I've been doing it backwards. I'm like, let me just do the quick thing because it'll get done. Let me just not do that.
Let me just miss out the really, really awesome, important thing that's got loads of opportunity attached to it. So yeah, that's a big human condition. Definitely something that is not, I'm not perfect at. I'm not sitting here going, stand by all my virtues 100% of the time. No, this is a good guide. And the days that I do all these things in the right way are awesome days. So I'm telling you this as much as I'm reminding myself.
Yeah.
If you actually set your day up like this, and then when it comes to creative time, your imagination's not imagining the pitfalls of the things you didn't do. It's imagining the things that you want to create. And cool
and it's
mix,
not comparing. Yeah, and your mind's not comparing itself to like the 50,000 windows it looked at in the morning before it sat down to try to create. Yeah.
They are not you. They aren't looking at you, and if they are, they're stupid too. Just crack on.
No, they're not stupid. They're just looking for some dopamine. That's all. Just some slow drip dopamine. We all like that sometimes.
I am fully aware of this. Now, I am also included in this club, and that's why that I need to push the merits for making sure you're on your own thing. You can look at all that stuff later in the day, but it's only, honestly, I had a girlfriend, she was awesome, but she started her day telling me everything that annoyed her about everybody online.
Oh no, I do that. I'm going to stop doing that. I got to stop doing that.
Stop doing that. Definitely stop. Because then I think she did her own head in, because when she went to put her own stuff up, she put it all through the same filter, the harshness filter she'd been using. And suddenly it was in like some kind of stasis and incapable of saying things, because maybe it falls into one of the things she's like complained about.
Oh no. Yeah,
don't complain about people. And if there's people you follow that you don't like, stop following.
No, that's silly.
Follow people that you really enjoy and that inspire you, whether they're from the same art form as you or not. Just you don't even follow things that
it's like
increase your vibe.
It's like just stuff just shows up on the feed. Like it's not even friends. It's just like it's news or something that's what I respond to. Because most of my feed is just like other artists and producers that are like, I'm doing something, or they're sharing something that somebody else did. So it's mostly positive in that front, but it's like the news stuff is like, it's like, why am I starting my day with like the doom and gloom of things that I can't control? Like, I gotta stop.
That was a lesson a few years ago about the news. The news is there could be amazingly awesome things happening that are equally important, but for some reason you're not being told about that. So the fact it's so unbalanced, it shouldn't get too much attention. It should be called the bad news. This is the bad stuff that's happened today. But wasn't there something heartwarming that happened? Yes, you have to go and hunt that on the internet in a little corner somewhere.
It's like, did they discover some kind of fungus that like heals people or something? Can we talk about that?
Too good a news, mate. Too good a news. You can't have that. So definitely avert from media as much as possible. And maybe like when you're feeling bubbly on ideas, make sure you're making notes of them all in your Google Docs on your phone or somewhere you can get back to them.
Trello is good for notes.
Trello.
Sorry for interrupting.
Perfectly good. And when you're in these morning states, and not at all. Oh, not at all. No, it's really good to pull from. It's an offline thing you can pull from. And if you want to get started on an idea or go back to an idea before all the other noise and people are already achieving, because I think we covered this last time, the social media has become, I turned off television because I've got things that I want to achieve, and television is people already achieving the thing they wanted to achieve, and you're watching them achieve it. So by spending all your time just watching somebody else already achieving the thing, it's like, and every single time you do that, it's taking you further away in time. What you wanted to get. I was turn off the TV. This is not a good use of time. And then it just cracked up on me. I'm like years into social media before I clocked it was exactly the same. Like, there's everybody achieving their dreams and I'm watching. What am I doing?
Same thing. Yeah. There's like a fine line between there's like that line between, it's just the line between being inspired by people and then being like distracted by it or comparing yourself to it too much.
Yeah, and it doesn't show you the steps. It doesn't show you the failures. It just shows you, just like a TV show, unless it's a really good, well done documentary where they show you all the failures.
Everything,
But that's not, most things aren't told that way. So you get, even though you're aware that that's the case and nobody has a direct line to like perfection or success or getting to their optimum them or whatever, it's quite easy to forget that. And when you're struggling in your path, if you're watching other people too much, I'm sure you can feel frustrated that, it's not as direct a trajectory. Ooh, who knows what theirs was? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all that noise is still residing habitually in the part of your brain you need to create with. So it's taken up a lot of like prime space in your brain, that stuff. So yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned that you mostly are seeing like the highlight reel of what people are doing when you're watching them do their thing on social media or on TV. So if there was something you could talk about that was a challenge for you that you would show people, like what's something that you've experienced that you had to overcome, like as an independent artist, or maybe just like personal mindset stuff? Yeah.
Something I could put on social media.
Like what was not even social, well, I guess not social media, but like what would you be willing to talk about that was a challenge for you, that was like difficult, that I feel like other people don't really talk about for themselves? They're just showing like, oh, I won this award, or oh, I'm getting all these gigs, or whatever. It's just like but they're not talking about how they were like, I don't know, crying on the floor the other night anyway because they couldn't think of how to finish a song or something. I don't know.
Oh, of course.
Getting personal.
Everybody, I don't know if I've cried on the floor very often.
No, but whatever that looks like for
maybe
some
not
people.
Maybe never been drawn to actual tears trying to think about it. But yeah, the okay, big challenges are ear blindness, doubt from chronic artist self-doubt, to get over that and go back to being I'm awesome. That's every artist has to do that. I don't believe that there's an artist that doesn't have that at some point. Do you know what I mean? You have to overcome that. I think when you don't play the hype game right, and you haven't placed things the right time in this new world of placement and algorithms and stuff like that, I head screw for everybody at the moment. Like, well, I don't want to keep posting about it, but I obviously posted at the wrong time. This really important information I want everybody to know. Are they not excited, or is it not in the algorithm? And I think that's like a horrible place all artists are at the moment. Does nobody care? Did I post at the wrong time? I've had a few lately where I've asked a question, like, nobody's replied. It's like,
what? I haven't seen. Well, if you post, well, it's weird. It's, I follow you, so it's like I'm not seeing you.
You might not see that post, and there we go. That's a prime example. You didn't see it. You're somebody who'd love to have.
And I actually, anyway,
that's something that's must be frustrating.
You can like post a picture of like a dog or a video of like a dog like farting or something, and it's like 1,000 likes or something. It's like, why? But when I post my art, nobody's
how
there.
You incorporate that, and how so I've used quite a lot of humor in how I drop my tunes, because it's like incorporate. Don't make everything. I mean, I honestly would love to be from an era where I can be like, I'm an artist. Here's a cool painting I made to go with my tune. It's out now. Off you go. But now everything's basically, this is what it boils down to. I think everything's in the same media hub, so it's all cross compared to each other. Every different art forms all cross compared in the same soup, and it's all judged by similar kind of ways. It's a little bit like judging a fish. The thing about judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. It's a little bit like that. So you've got types of artists who could be perfect in any other timeline in history. But in the current timeline, we have to be like a comedian or like come up with like bite-sized content that's shareable and all the not just like, oh, that's funny. Like, I need to show people that's the pressure you're under. Like, that has to be something that gets moving.
You have to. So you have to be so many things as an artist. As an independent artist right now, copywriter, marketer.
It's
your audio's.
I think I might have meant this last time.
I think it's just the internet going to space and coming back. But maybe it'll
Okay. How about now?
I'm like, you seem to be, yeah. You're pixelated, but you're there.
Okay. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine. No, it's not like it's a boomer thing to wish that you didn't have to do. It's not quite where I was going. The point is, it isn't, we've had to adapt and do all these things. But the thing is, every art form is merging into the same art form, was my point. Do you know what I mean? Because
the medium is becoming the same. Yeah.
Whereas certain types of art attracted a certain type of personality set that doesn't necessarily have that outgoing, like, comedian persona to attach. And I just think we could be missing out on amazing talent these days because
the algorithm and stuff.
Algorithms driven by numbers and comments and all this stuff, which is somebody else's system they've set up and we've all used it, so we can't complain. It's free, isn't it?
Yeah. This is like a totally new system, which I guess is kind of happening.
We've got a way of reaching people. But we now have to be artists and be incredibly conformist at the same time. It's weird.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You must conform weird to all the things that you're supposed to do and also be a rebel.
Yeah, no. It doesn't work. Yeah. We actually had a question from a couple questions. Well, this person, I guess they were not here. They said, I saw you recently released an NFT album. Is it your first or have you released one before? So, no, that was your first ever.
That was my very first one.
Ever. And it won't be your last? No?
There's more to come. Yeah.
Yeah. And you did you not, they're not minted yet? Didn't you?
So,
am I not supposed to be talking about this right now?
No, I don't know what you're not supposed to be talking about. So the first album that started with a 1 of 1, and then had a 1 of 10 colorways of the album cover, which only 3 have been released of so far. So there's more of those. There's a 1 of the 5.
I posted his collection on OpenSea, so you can see what's there.
That's what's there so far. And there's some really interesting ones coming, one of which we talked about last time, which I'll be wanting to share with the whale community as soon as it's put into place, because there's a Guinness World Record being applied for. So, cool.
That's awesome. That's super official then. Excellent. So it'll be extra. I'm excited that I'm the first owner. And then I already have a friend who's like, hey, let me know when you want to sell that NFT. And I'm like, okay. I will be the first.
Down the line, Heather. Get it moving down the line. Great.
We have another question. It was, why did you decide to create an NFT album? So I think y'all weren't here for the last interview we had, but that's okay. We can ask it again. I think it's a good question. Why did you decide to create an NFT album?
A lot of people have pre-decided why this is because they go, oh, good, ride that NFT hype wave there. And I'm like, cool. Actually came up with a version of NFTs, and I sound such a dick when I say it, but I did come up with an analog version of NFTs in 2013, 4 years before NFTs came about. So when they were invented, it was like the official transparent blockchain version of what I'm doing, which is basically creating scarcity purely in the digital realm with no physical element to it, which was what I felt was missing to have that dubplate culture vibe in drum and bass. So the reason I made an album, question asker, I didn't get a name, but was because
Dolly 85.
Hey, Dolly 85.
They are regular. Hi,
Regs. Is because I could see people, perhaps even though I wanted to do one for a while before it, I could see perhaps people were getting around to the point where it might be, it might work. You know, there might be an audience for it to start with. Second of all, because at the moment the music industry direction is going so far far away. I felt that some spike needed to be put in the track, and we should all be talking about changing in the course of that a little bit. So I use it as a talking point, which is why I've been open to all these things, especially with the world of singing less and less. Our equipment's expensive. If you want all the music in the world to be made by 12-year-olds on GarageBand, we can keep using all the stream sites. But if you want it to be made by real musicians with expensive equipment and love and the full time it takes to learn how to make all this stuff, create an income from it. So there needs to be a little bit of thinking about how we the creator of the art itself actually gets a little bit of a better deal. And in this case, it looked like it could be, and especially if we demand more from it for artists in music and make it more usable in certain ways, which we will by creating a demand. The service, I could create the service, but I'm sure somebody's already working on it based on the fact of the uptake so far. Would mean if we uptook a system that paid the artist every time something got resold or streamed from that blockchain position on an NFT, better creativity, less rushed music, more incredible music. It's healthy for everybody if you enjoy the art, that the artists can be free to make it and not have to take a full-time job in order to buy all the equipment they need, because they get pennies from all the streaming stuff. So, all those reasons are why. That was the long enough answer.
All those reasons.
Digging down this there.
That was a great response. And I feel like the other thing too that's great about NFTs though is that, you know, it creates this like symbiosis that has to happen between the collector and the artist that didn't really have to happen before. Like the collector could just go on their way and sell it for as much as they wanted to and reap all the benefits of that. But it behooves the collector to continue having a good relationship with the artist and promoting the artist, and because that just creates more value for the NFTs that they own. So as a collector, so it's super cool how it works, like win-win all around. I like it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a massive shame if it isn't like a permanent fixture, but it won't be a permanent fixture and people use it. So that's start being used and used in this way. I even waited a couple of weeks from when I decided to do it. I don't need all that attention. Somebody else because you were the first one. And they didn't. So,
and it's almost like you want to like do it right the first time, but it's like if nobody else did it, you have to be the person that's like brave enough to just see what happens. And I think what you included with it was super cool, and that's part of why I didn't want to give it up. But then you were like, oh well, I'll still send you all of my songs in your inbox anyway if you've owned this NFT. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Every one of the owners of the one of 111 number 111 gets the Saxxon.
That's super cool.
Perk.
But then there's still aspects that like make it valuable for the person who owns it currently. So it's really cool. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what you do next with the next NFT album as well. We'll see where that goes.
There's quite a list of fun ones that I need to work out how to make them find the right audiences at the minute. That's where maybe you can help me have some on that.
Yeah, we have to think about that. Because I know plenty of DJs that used to play vinyl and they really miss that feeling of being the only one with like this dub plate or one of like 20 people who have a promo copy of something. And, what you had started in 2013 with, pricing it a little bit higher. And then like only these people are emailed, this link to a, Google Drive with these files. So it's still easy to tell like who might've leaked it, but it's even easier to tell who might've leaked it, with an NFT release of these tunes. So I feel like that's something that's hugely, for those DJs, I feel like would create a lot of value, but I still feel like a lot of people in that faction are also NFT resistant, So it's like,
yeah,
getting through to those people, like getting that point through to those people, it's like, no, this is how it can create value for you. And you don't have to like travel like 2 states away to some distant, record store for this thing that it's like, you can just have it. I don't know.
Just have it. And of course, like, it should be made like, so you're buying a one of one tune, say you are in this case, from a producer you like, even if it doesn't include a physical, seeing as you're the one of one owner, you totally go and get that stuff cut and pressed and make it a physical dub plate. It would be a physical dub plate, but you'd be so much surer that when you're spinning that thing, you are literally the only person, apart from the producer who made it, who's had the opportunity. And that in dance music, I don't know how that, and maybe reggae and stuff like that, I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? Because that feeling is lost. And I know whatever that feeling might be called, feeling of bragging rights, superiority,
I don't know.
Just feeling special.
Yeah.
Being able to buy yourself the feeling of feeling special, I think is whatever the price is. If it feels good enough for the price, that is a great way to spend your money. You know what I mean? What a cool way to feel it.
If something is like a great tune, and especially if like you're the only person that has it, and then like you drop it at a party and like everybody loses their absolute minds and you're the only person that can do that, like, yeah, I don't know. The Germans probably have a word for that feeling, but I don't know what it is.
Bare bookings. That's what it is. Bare bookings. Bare bookings. But yeah, I mean, that, like, so you go to your favourite restaurant and eat your favourite dinner and you don't care how much it is, because they make you feel amazing. For like 3 or 4 hours, you meant to feel maybe that long, depending on how long you eat your dinner over. Maybe 2 hours. 2 hours of feeling incredible, and you love to stand. The big boss comes, he makes a fuss, comes over. I love to see you, Gareth. And you pay him for the whole thing. You feel great. You know, you come out of there and you've had a pat on the back. You left a tip. They gave you a little liqueur because you're a good customer. What is different about that and that's a few £100.
Yeah.
To spending a few £100 on a tune that's going to make you feel like that every single time you take it out of the case. You're like, it's never going to go away. So
just the angels singing.
Oh, the turntable that goes in the hole, makes a little sex noise and everything. Oh, so cool. And that's when you're asking about values for NFT. Start comparing it to other things where a feeling is attached to the cost. The feeling of an experience. It's the feeling you're buying. It's always the feeling. It's not you. The experience ends. The feeling remains.
Yeah.
And the feeling you're always buying.
You can't put a price on that.
Trainers, and you look down, you look sick every time you look at your new trainer. Oh, I look like a bad man in my new trainers. You're not paying for the trainers. You're paying for the feeling the trainers give you.
Yeah. Wow.
So when people are like, why are people buying NFTs? Everything we buy is a feeling. Everything. I want the feeling of feeling like I've got this normal release tune that I love for £1. It's still buying the feeling of having that tune in your set and feeling like a bad man because you got that tune. Even if it's like a release tune, it was only £1. It's the relative level of feeling as well.
Yes.
So like the investment in the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's so true. We are always only paying for a feeling. I don't want to miss this question. It's actually interesting. Golden Green Goat. Yes, I am reading that right. Good eyes. Okay. Any interest in gaming at all currently or growing up? While listening to your track Here to Play on YouTube, I could imagine it as being music for a race. There might be room for a collab with someone in the NFT game development space. So it was more like a comment.
If you have any recommendations for that collab, I'd be totally down. I'm not a massive gamer, but I do play social gaming. I do play with my mates if they've got a console and it's like socially, I'll do it. At home, on my own, this is my video game. The music-y video game. High scores to June. But as far as like soundtrack in a video game, I used to play video games a lot as a teenager, and I think it would be amazing to have music in the game. It's one of the things I really hope to have. Being on Hospital Records, I need to keep nudging a little bit. On Hospital Records, I'd be able to get synced to one of the game contracts they have. If you have a recommendation for an NFT gamer link, definitely. Yeah, Here to Play's kind of got a bass on it. Sounds like changing gears, I think. So that might be why you're getting the.
That would be cool.
So that might be what you're getting from that. So yeah, I'd be totally down. I just haven't got the links. Make the links.
All right, Golden Green Goat. If there's
my favorite
any
NFT
game developers that you want to like point him in the direction of that you think would match well with his tunes, with Saxxon's music, I'm sure there's a lot. I feel like drum and bass really lends itself well to a lot of fast-paced games. It's just like
all driving games should have a drum and bass section.
If
you want to get first every round, you want to listen to Dirty DMV 180.
Yeah. Dirty DMV 180. That's like the extra fast kind, guys, who don't know. Let's see. Oh no, this person. No, that is not a. Sorry, sir. That is a question that is unrelated to this stream. But thank you, sir. Sorry. They're asking about Axie Infinity, which is a NFT game. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but.
I'll make sounds for it.
I'll make sounds for it.
I'll do it.
Golden Green Goat said, Blanco's Block Party has race levels. It's the only NFT-based race game I know of at the moment, and I haven't been in the space for too long. I've never played Blanco's because they don't have it on Mac, but that game looks so fun, and drum and bass your tunes would sound amazing in that game. It's super cool. I'll send you a link after so you could see what it looks like. They have really cool looking characters in it. They look really cute and brightly colored, and people like build worlds
on a special level. Collab on a special soundtrack level.
Yes.
One level.
Yeah. People build. I don't know what it's called, but people like build like custom levels, I guess, like universes and courses, I think, are what they're called. So yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah. We gotta one of our other moderators, Gigian, he runs a Blanco stream, so I'm gonna ask him about people who he knows that like to build in there, and we'll make connections. Something will happen. There will be a Saxxon Blancos.
I want to weave with them.
Yeah.
weave. Benny Blanco. Be friends. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. These people are asking some more DeFi questions. It's not really related to art stuff, but okay. I guess one of my last questions for you then is, I feel like it's really easy for, like, as a creator, when you're making any kind of art, if you make a living making art, that it's really easy to blur the line between business and pleasure. And like sometimes the stuff that's pleasurable can like lose the spark because it's become like you have to do it. So how do you toe that line as an artist and a professional?
What, actually finishing stuff?
Like, I don't know if it's like actually finishing stuff, but it's like it's like that existential, like, now I have to do this and it has to be good. Getting over that stuff.
Do that stuff in the daytime, but they're the morning tasks I was talking about. They're like, you have to do it. Putting it off's just going to make it more painful. So there's some nitty-gritty things that, like, even just like posting on social media, I'm not always in the mood to do it, but I know that you have to keep feeding the Tamagotchi. So pre-write some stuff when you are in a good mood. Pre-write some stuff for that sort of. I have a little file of which I usually forget I have when I need to write a post. I'm like, what do I put? I don't know. Forget that I've got like a whole Google Doc on it. And then when it comes to music, like, try and get it done in the vibe. Do you know what I mean? Try and get it finished while you're still feeling it. And then, honestly, the thing you're saying is one of my main stumbling blocks. When I'm not in the mood to do it and it's still at a creative stage, that can really mess things up. So the labels said, like, they've heard 80%, love it, finish it off, we'll have it, had a tester. But I should have got to 100% first. So the trick really for me when it comes to the music is just get it to 100% before anybody hears it. And then you don't get stuck in this professional pressure situation where you're like, well, I have to finish this track now because they've said they wanted it. If it was already finished and they said they wanted it, problems pre-solved. So my trick is with this stuff is to do it before the professionals get involved. And one of the ways I did that was to pull away from the idea of pleasing anybody, pull away from pleasing any particular label, and make a really, I think I might have mentioned this before, made a really hard line on working just for me and pleasing me with the music I'm making, at least, especially, and then let people pick from that pile. And then they're all finished. And there's no like, oh, I've got the labels that, and the ones I've got lingering longest are the ones that I didn't do that with. And I'm sorry to everybody that's waiting for those ones, but they are the ones that got to 75% and went, let's just see if they like them.
Yeah,
should have just finished it.
You know, I just remembered because I had mentioned it to you offline that you know, that I think that there's some independent producers out there that have like a huge backlog of music that they've created and created like in that spirit of like they loved what they were doing, and then when they sent it to a label, they're like, oh, it's not what we're looking for, and like a bunch of different labels might reject it, and it's just like, you know, and for me personally, like I've heard these tunes and I'm just like, what do you mean it's not what you're looking for? Or like, why does every tune have to have the same vibe as every other tune that you've released? Like that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, what do you what advice, because I feel like your music also is versatile in terms of like the vibe and like the sounds, but there's still something that's distinctly you. And I'm just like, I don't understand why it's like, it just seems to be difficult for some artists that have a very eclectic style, because it seems like labels just want a specific sound every time. And I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, that's a horrible thing. And something that I won't name names, but there's people that have a very specific sound that have said to me, I kind of wish that I'd done it your way, because now I feel kind of trapped in my parameters.
Yeah.
Because people, once you get to a point, people aren't really interested in things outside of that known realm. You almost have to have a second alias for it to make it acceptable. Unless you're kind of known for being versatile, or you switch at the, because there's a key time. If you came into the scene, right, with a very distinctive style, brand new and fresh, and people are loving it, the magic and key thing, and I've never been in this position, but I've been around long enough to observe it. Magic and key thing at this is knowing the point to switch before you're so far deep in this thing that nobody accepts anything new, and people aren't sick of it. Like, they'll still want more when you go back to it, but they've had enough that they really know your name, and it's time. It's a crucial time. You could now progress into something different, unless you might get trapped in that rut of making the same thing. So I think it's stuff in that, and if people have been stuck into that particular specific production rut, and nobody's interested, is either release your stuff independently and hope the audience, the hardcore of the audience, are willing to come with you on a journey. And if they're not, then if you still really feel that, then that's time to start another alias around it. Do you know what I mean?
That's so exhausting, though, to like have to. It's like, no, I'm a human being with multiple facets.
Yeah, I know. I feel really blessed that not all my tunes work with everybody, and I don't plan for them to. Honestly, I probably could plan better at this thing, but I don't. My brain doesn't think. I don't think big tune. Maybe I should. I just think funk, groove. Yeah, I like it. That'll do.
Yeah,
I'm into it. Yeah, I'm into it. This has got a thing that's different, and therefore it's good to me, and I would play it, and that's all I can go on. You know, if it's good to me, and I would play it. I can't imagine what other people would play, and trying to please other people is just a massive detriment, because it's a Frankenstein creature. It's a little piece of everybody that you're thinking about. You know what I mean? So I feel lucky that I've been able to just do me, but also when people are sending music around, don't forget that everybody's living their own life. There could be any reason why they didn't like that tune that day, or even hear that tune, or if for me, for example, I'm no big cheese, but I can have like a time where maybe 10 emails be coming at once, or 10 inboxes all coming at once and everything, and I miss one of them, or I open it and it's seen, and then my phone rings, and then I don't get to go back to it, and then I miss it. And that person could be thinking, oh, he's heard it, he hates it. Oh my God, I thought that one was a really good tune, and he's definitely seen it, and he's definitely... And I'm like completely unaware of this trauma I've just put somebody through, because all I did was be stoned and looked at my phone for a minute when I shouldn't have done. I was already supposed to be doing something else. I'm in my inbox, let's put it down. And that's the knock-on effect is somebody who's been in the position you're talking about. Like, oh God, maybe I can't do these things, but keep going. Remember that everybody's a human and everybody's at different times of the day, and they could be, maybe you need to be specific about the times of different times you try to send people an email or a message. You know what I mean? Maybe they're really fresh in the morning, haven't had a doobie yet, and they'll be like, oh yes, I've got a new song, I'll listen to it straight away. Whereas if you got them at 10 p.m, like, oh fuck, I'm in the studio, man, and they never listen, and you could the whole time be thinking that person's definitely
that person hates me. Yeah,
snare, he knows that I can't do snares, and I'm a loser, and I give up. No, it's none of those things are probably true. None of them are true. They probably just didn't hear it or heard the intro, and then their phone rang and they forgot to play it again because the person on the phone wanted something for them, and they thought, I'll just, let me just. And then you're like 30 people back, and it's nothing to do with your music. So definitely just keep going.
There's that. And I think also too, like, you know, it's difficult too releasing independently, like on Bandcamp or something, because in my friend's amazing words, she's like, I don't want it to just be a fart in the wind on Bandcamp and then nobody knows it exists. And it's like, how do you market yourself as an artist? I feel like even if you pay for ads on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're at, like, it would be pointless, because I think so many people are paying for the ads. Like, you're still gonna get buried in other people's sponsored posts too, so it's like,
honestly, if you're at this fledgling stage, if we're talking about this fledgling stage, this is more important than ever to go back to what you're talking about communicating with the people that support you. If you've got 10 fans, you should be chatting to them. Do you know what I mean? If you've only got 10 fans, you're starting out. It shouldn't be trying to be cool. It should be like trying to chat to these people. And build a relationship, get them excited for you, get them excited enough, and let them get some insider knowledge of what's coming next so they can get excited. If they get excited, maybe some other people get excited too, and you can start a little avalanche of joy. But focus on the people that are sharing the love. And I know that's weird, and it's like anti-human. That's a terrible human trait where you focus on the people that don't like you.
We do that.
Focus on the people that do. Focus on the people that do like you.
So true.
And love what you do, because they're the ones who want to see you achieve the most. And the earlier they're invested in your journey, the more chance they've got to do their bit towards it. So
that makes a lot of sense. And I think too, if you even if you only had one fan or something that you're chatting to, like, the energy you're getting from that one person giving you joy and nice feedback, like, that is enough fuel to run on, instead of not talking to them and noticing you only got 1 like and 300 views, but nobody said anything, and you're like, what did those 299 people want? Like,
what was their problem?
You can get so much more fuel from that joy with that one person instead. So
definitely, even like I don't remember why I know this or what I saw it on, but Taylor Swift's whole game plan for getting famous and getting a fan base was to meet everybody that came to the show. Meet everybody. Crazy. Everybody, give everybody time. Everybody, everywhere she goes, time. Give it. And if you like, just use that on a really basic level. Give the people your time.
Yeah.
Even if it's chit chat, it doesn't have to be news. Just like, I've got quite a few people that listen to my music. We've got some wicked jokes that we mess around with. An ongoing like banter that if we see a certain meme on a topic, it's in my inbox, and I find one and send it back. It's wicked. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It doesn't all
I love it.
Shop
No,
talk.
it doesn't. No, it does not have to be shop talk. So Saxxon's DMs are open for memes.
I'm always dog memes or
Dog
photos
memes.
of your dog looking cute. I need names.
I love dogs.
Possibly a video chat if it's a really cute dog. I'd like to speak to it.
I mean, that's an additional service you could offer.
That's for free.
Oh, that's for free.
Forever for free. Me talking to your dog on video chat.
That's awesome.
Permanent free Saxxon service.
Okay. Dog owners.
Cute dogs.
Hit up Saxxon for dog FaceTime.
Meet your dog.
I want to start doing that for free too. I don't have Pole though. Can I just talk to your dog?
Exactly. I could come for walks and that. Could be like a dog walking service, but you still have to walk the dog itself.
You have to walk the dog to me, and I will go walk
busy.
it.
You can be busy doing other stuff. I'll talk to the dog.
Oh my gosh, I love dogs. I love to just say, I feel bad when I pass dogs in the street and I say hi to them and I realized I completely ignored the human being next to them. I'm like, oh, sorry. And then I try to remember, but then sometimes I remember the human and the human doesn't say hi back to me. I'm like,
the dog was totally giving vibes of hello back.
Yes. Oh no, the dog is like dragging the owner the other way to come to try to get pets from me. And the owner's just like strangling it, trying to get away from me. Just why would you get such a cute dog if you didn't want people to mark out over your dog?
Get a mean looking dog with the mean vibes. Exactly. No, honestly, there's a few, and I'll never name them, probably because I can't. There's a few promoters where I remember their dog's name. But
oh my God, that's hilarious. You have to send me the pictures now. I want to see the promoters' dogs.
Yeah, I almost got into names and I realised it'd be far too obvious for the favoritism. There's a lot of very good dogs.
You'll have to tell me.
They never come to the shows. Like, give us some ear protectors.
Why don't we have there should be like a drum and bass, like dog friendly festival party, day party.
At 8 o'clock in the morning after an all night of some dabs and stuff at Fozzy Fest, we were coming up. One of the guys had a deaf dog. He was lovely. And I was like, I bet he loves the bass and his paws and that. Like, he's top it down for the bass.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We made up a charity, Saxxon's Dubs for Deaf Dogs. And like,
oh my God, Dubs for Deaf Dogs.
Bring all your deaf dogs and they can enjoy the bass line through their paws. And we're like, no, we shouldn't exclude the normal dogs with normal hearing. It's like just Dubs for Dogs. I'm
sure they would all still like the vibrations. They have such tiny bodies and like they're so close to the ground, it probably feels really cool.
They need that. So I think honestly, one of the collab NFTs I'm doing, which has got like a 3D dog with a guy called Mr. Ink in Manchester. One of the things I said that I'd do a dog-related NFT was if we supported real dogs in the real world after the sale of it. So
that's happening?
That's going to be happening, but I want to do maybe it could be attached, but I want Dubs for Dogs to be a thing. Where
Dubs for Dogs.
The dubs are sold, but the money goes directly. You said just send the money directly to we pick a shelter a month or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But this
God.
This needs
to be a thing.
Like a wasted dabs conversation to reality. I think it should actually.
Yes. No, that absolutely has to happen.
Like as I said, through Rubik's, the NFT crew, there will be a dog benefiting NFT very soon. So I got sent the prototype. The prototype earlier on.
Oh my God!
A pug with a Saxxon t-shirt on.
I can't wait. So that's like happening in 2021, summer of 2021.
That's like happening. The pugs are happening quite soon.
Okay, and keep us. You have to keep us posted. Yes, in our general channel, you can always post in there. Say what's up.
I will attempt to try. I haven't Discorded apart from these conversations, but I will attempt to.
Yeah.
Say hello. If anybody wants to chat to me, they know the best currency. Drop the doggy picture in the chat. You get a reply.
So, what's the best place for people to message you? Is it Instagram, Twitter, Discord?
Post via postcard of their dog.
Postcard of a dog in any of those inboxes. Share a pup.
A physical postcard. It could be Valentine's, Christmas card, Happy Summer. And that's like the top.
A puppy in a basket at your doorstep.
No transported puppies. Oh my god! Have you seen how hot it is here? No puppies, no real puppies.
Sorry.
Unless they've come in a cooled vehicle with air conditioning. In which case they're all welcome. Yeah. And then second to that, I guess.
Yes.
Second to that is Instagram, Saxxon Gram. And then
I'll put his links in here.
My OpenSea doesn't have an inbox, so that's good.
No, that would just be more stuff to remember.
Yeah, probably Saxxon Gram is what's placed in inbox.
Saxxon Gram on Instagram. It's placed in the chat as well for everybody to see. And
if you've got like any comparison from like puppy to full grown, like you've got like one each that goes with the dog.
Show me your whole dog's lifetime.
Let me see the full span of this amazing pet of yours, and I'll be. Anyway, yes, that is it.
Yes.
That is the hotspot, and
Cool.
There'll be some fun NFTs and dog bonusing NFTs very soon.
Sweet. Yes, dog beneficial NFTs and dubs for dogs. I'm very excited about that.
This is late 2021. The dubs for dogs is happening now.
Excellent. I'm excited for that. Well, thank you everybody for your questions, your time, and your presence. And thank you, Saxxon, for your time and your presence and enlightening us on your journey as an artist. And yeah, if you made it late, you can come watch this on the Whale YouTube channel. And we'll see you all next time. Bye. Have a great evening.
Easy now.
Peace out.